Leeds.
Hey guys, a new little segment to the channel, opinions to go. I'm going to look, various times a week and see what sort of little news pieces and bits and bobs are out there for Leeds United. And I'm going to give you my opinion on them while I'm at work, while I'm on the go, opinions to go. And I'll also have the opinion of one of my friends as well. So my opinion on this one, since today we're linked again very loosely with Josh Sargent from Norwich. It's a really interesting one. He's played under Farke before, but we get linked with a lot of Farke's ex-players. We've seen it already, Max Aarons, Wendia, so many players from McLean as well, so many players from that Norwich side. Obviously, when he comes at championship level, I think Josh Sargent's a very capable player. He's one of the better strikers in this division. But I'll say is though, always injured. Crop this season. His goal return for how many games he plays is phenomenal. I think he scored 40 plus goals in 80 something games. So he's not far off a goal every 2 games. Plays for USMNT, that side as well. So he's a decent player. I just think when it comes to where Leeds United are going, I think our trajectory is going at a much quicker rate than what Josh Sargent's is. He's played in Premier League before, and I'm jumping gun a bit. Are we going to be a Premier League side next season? This is where it's an interesting one. Because if we're a Championship side, you'd say, yeah, you'd have him. He could fill boots of Bamford potentially in physio room. But he's very capable at this level. But I do, obviously, I in my opinion, Leeds will go up this season. And for me, he's not a Premier League player. I think he's a very, very good Championship player. And I'm not too sure Leeds need to be risking anybody who has these massive lengthy layoffs with injury. He's had it now, I think, last 2 or 3 years he's had spells out. I think he's got 12 goals and 5 assists this season, so 17 G&A in 24 games, I think it is. So like I said, this level is phenomenal. Really good focal point, he's good in the air, he's got a decent turn of pace, he can finish. I think Leeds United, if we had him this season, he were fit, I think he'd do bits. But I just think when you look at next season, I just think it's a really easy link to make. I just think Leeds will be looking higher than Josh Sargent, no matter what division we're in. So yeah, it's quite an interesting one that keeps popping up. We get these a lot, don't we, where until they sign for another team, you never know if we're going to get them or not, because they're always linked. We had it with Ryan Kent, we had it with all sorts, and it seems now Josh Sargent or any Norwich player, while ever we've got Daniel Farke in charge, they're always going to be linked with Leeds. But yeah, for me, I would say it's a no-go. I do think we're going to be looking I think we'll be looking at European market as well when we get into Premier League, because that's where I think we're going. But yeah, just seen that today, and I thought I'd give my opinion on it.
View on Josh Sargent to Leeds United. It's been linked. I quite like Josh Sargent. I think he's a very good Championship striker. I think he is the profile striker we need. He's all action, scores some goals, gets around the pitch, puts himself about, leads the line very, very well. I actually think he's probably a Premier League striker in the waiting. I think he's that good. I like him. He's physical. He's got a bit of pace. Runs in behind. Comes short. Gives the ball build-up play. Well, I talked myself into it. For me, he's not quite the level. We need a really good number 9 in the Premier League. A really good number 9 is probably one of the most crucial positions, if not the most crucial. Goal scorer. You got to look at someone can try. You got to try and find someone to score 15 goals in the Premier League. Is Josh Sargent that man for Leeds United? No, I don't think he is. I think if you could say goal involvements rather than goals. Look at 20 goal involvements, get assists, etc. Involved in build-up play. But you have really good players around him. You can't convoluting. You can start complicating the matter by thinking, we need this striker to play with Josh Sargent. It's just, it doesn't really work. Ultimately, I think as well, so for me, Sargent isn't quite the right player, and this is another case of Daniel Farkeism. Daniel Farke wants this player. He's played for us. We need to, as soon as possible, cast our net wider. We can't keep doing this, playing players from Germany and players that play for Daniel Farke. Got to be really careful. We can't be all in on Daniel Farke completely this summer. He's our manager, don't get me wrong, but you have football people above him that can push back on him and make sure that whoever we're buying has longevity at Leeds United beyond Daniel Farke. You have a full Daniel Farke summer with Daniel Farke picks every player he wants. Now, don't get me wrong, players can play for other managers. But what you can't do is have a Daniel Farke summer flat out, because it's such a limiting factor. Look at the player, look at January. We couldn't buy anyone because Daniel Farke didn't want anyone. He has his list of 6. If those 6 aren't available, we didn't buy anyone. And now we're flagging a little bit, where we probably need that little boost in January. So same sort of thing in the summer. Our whole recruitment cannot be based around just what Daniel Farke fancies and the limiting factor. And he can be a limiting factor at the back end of that recruitment structure, but he can't be a limiting factor at the front end of it, like in players from these countries and players that played for him before. So yes, I like Josh Sargent. In the grand scheme of things, I don't like the fact he's linked, because everything I've just said about Daniel Farke, the summer for Leeds United. But ultimately, I like Josh Sargent's profile. His profile is exactly what I want for Leeds, but I want a better version, a bigger, stronger, quicker, scores more goals, more assists, and hopefully costs less as well. Why not? Less wages. Why not be all in? If going pie in the sky stuff. But there is players out there that's type of profile that is a better player, and yeah, they'll probably cost more money, but that's what we need to spend. We need to go big in the summer, and Josh Sargent doesn't quite fall into that bracket for me.